my name is Crystal and it's good to have you on HopeGrill for today. I'm excited and you might be asking, why HopeGrill? Yes, we want to cook hope. We want to ensure that you can breathe, you can live, you can inspire and you can experience hope. And with me this evening, I have an amazing woman in the studio and I'll just allow her to tell us about herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Temitope Ogunniyi, but there's one more thing. Everybody calls me the happy teacher.
Happy teacher.
So I know she wasn't expecting this, but I will do this. I am H-A-P-P-Y.
Okay.
I am H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am sure I am H-A-P-P-Y. Happy!
Okay, that's so infectious. Happy teacher. It's good to have the happy teacher in the house. And I hope that by the time we're done with HopeGrill this evening, you will be happy. Awesome. So tell us, people call you
the happy
happy teacher. Why the happy teacher?
Interestingly, I wasn't always the happy teacher.
Okay.
And I think, like they say, you probably have to have experienced lack to appreciate having plenty. So I was not always happy. But it is a deliberate choice to be happy. So sometimes I might not feel it. Sometimes your body, your mind. But I have told myself, because what I do every day as a teacher is not just teaching children to pass exams, is building, I think I should borrow the word hope.
Okay.
Building hope. So there are children who tell you, I go to school because I have to go to school. I really don't get it. They say we should go to school. And then I'm here telling you there's much more to it. So for me, I am happy because I am touching lives. I see potential every day. And I'm part of the growth of children who are eventually going to build this nation. So what I do is plant the seed and then water it.
Okay, Temitope. I was already getting into the groove of what you're talking about, and I was about to say, okay, let's start grilling. But tell me, why teaching? Why did you decide to become a teacher? Because if you ask me, 20 years ago, I'm not sure that I would want to be a teacher. So why is Temitope a teacher? Have you always wanted to be a teacher? Did you stumble upon teaching? And,
sitting before you is the accidental teacher. So yes, I know I said happy teacher.
So you're the happy accidental teacher.
I won't lay claim to that accidental one, because now I started out, let me just say I started out as an accidental teacher. So I found myself in the educational space. The times when schools would be on strike. So university was on strike. And then instead of just sitting at home, I would teach in primary schools around. And I was enjoying it. But I didn't see it as what I was going to do. Okay. Because I studied French and public relations.
Oh, really? Do you speak
French?
So,
yes. We're not going there.
Come on,
should we start? Okay. Comment t'appelles-tu? Je m'appelle Madame Temitope Ogunniyi. Et toi, comment t'appelles-tu?
Oui.
No, just tell me your name.
So my name is Crystal.
No, je m'appelle
Crystal Chibou.
Okay, so that's by the way. I studied French and public relations because I saw myself working with multinationals. That's what it was going to be. We were going to be getting the ESTA codes,
Wow.
But then, school was out and I started working in a school, but in the administrative department.
Okay.
So it was still okay, my public relations, and I found out that parents will come to make inquiries and then they will come back to tell me that it was because of you I brought my child. And then I started giving thought to what I was doing. Fast forward, the owner of the school just remembered that there was French on my CV after I came back from France. And I cried for 3 days when I heard that they needed a French teacher and I was going to be the one. That how can they have someone who studied French and is good with people, good with children? You know what, you're going to be a French teacher. And for 3 days I cried. I'm not going to teach. I didn't see it. Fast forward again. I got into class and apparently what I was doing at the front desk continued. So I was attending to parents. Because I was then the front desk officer / assistant admissions officer. So it was my job to make sure potential parents brought their children, and I was happy with it. One confession, I do not know if some of my colleagues know this, as in my ex-colleagues, was 2 parents were going to poach me. As in, you shouldn't be here. As in, so when they now heard I was even living there to go into class, teacher. But for me, I took what I was doing. Remember I said I didn't want to for like 3 days. But I got into class and these children started looking forward to class and then confiding in me, and I'm like, wait, I'm just your French teacher. So for me, I found out that I was connecting with them. And then I'm very boisterous. I have a lot of energy.
Obviously.
There's one day, I just remembered that. I didn't think of it before. There was this particular day. The way the classes were, there were always these holes where if a parent wants to go round the school and then maybe going for a tour.
Okay.
You could peep into the class without disrupting the class instead of opening the door, maybe when a lesson is going on. So there was always that space where the parent could look at what's going on. And sometimes even with the teachers, no, I wasn't a teacher then. I was taking parents around. So I became a teacher, and because I wasn't used to that, and coming from a non-teaching background, I need to also mention that. So I had to sign up for a course because I wasn't a teacher.
So somehow, for you to excel, at now being a teacher, you had to now...
Yes, so you can start out, but you need to. Because that was when I had the paradigm shift.
So viewers, you can always start out.
Yes.
But you need to go even a little bit deeper.
To be that teacher, there are the technicalities, just like an engineer. So there's somebody who would fix maybe that broken thing, but there's somebody who will go deeper. Just like a doctor, they're specialists. And so yes, I started out, remember when schools were on strike and I was having fun. But if I was going to take it up as a career, I needed to know the rudiments. And there was no question. Okay. So yes, you can start out, but you need to. I think the word there is need to. So yes, I remember when I said that glass space. Yes. Don't worry, we'll be going back and forth, but we'll get home. Now, apparently the principal had been watching. Guess what? Now, for those of you who didn't know Temitope Ogunniyi before, I was bigger than this. So as a teacher, I was standing on the table. Whoa. I sing. All of my classes, I sing. As in, I need the children. It's French. Most of them don't speak it at home. And then after my class, it's like, it's done.
Yeah.
But I needed that continuity. So I'm always forming a song with maybe verbs using the Bani tune or something. I probably will sing one later.
Okay.
Yes. So maybe I was on the table.
As another career.
No. Okay. No. I sing in class. My children love it that way. But as a career, no. So I was on the table and the children had to like sway with me. And then there was a time I had to jump down. And then I got back on the table. And then the principal opened the door. Believe me, I thought I was in trouble.
So you froze. So hold that thought.
Okay.
Because you're talking about being in trouble. And as Temitope keeps talking. I'm looking at her energy, and I'm asking myself, your children must be having an amazing, amazing time. So tell us, when this principal came in and you thought you were in trouble, what did you do?
Okay, so I got down from the table and just stood expecting the next thing. And she said, I've been there for over 5 minutes. Just keep it up.
Wow.
For me, it was, I don't know how to explain it, but I have had so many aha moments in this teaching profession. So much so that if that initial thing I wanted to do with
the multinationals
if they come today, I won't take it up.
Awesome.
It's me in the classroom.
Okay, I'm sure you're probably wondering what next I'm going to ask Temitope. If you're just joining us, this is HopeGrill, where we cook hope, where we ensure that we teach hope, we infuse hope, and we make sure that you experience hope. And I'm sure that listening to Temitope, you're already getting a bit of burst of energy, and at the end of the day, your hope should be revived. Cosper said something, said education brings confidence, and confidence breeds hope, and hope breeds peace. Looking at you, Temitope, you feel at peace with yourself. You feel very happy because you started talking about working for multinationals, and now, I want to take a teaching profession because of you.
Wow.
I really want to. I'm serious.
Now my head is swelling.
Tell me, for you, how would you liken teaching to hope?
Okay, so I would use my personal example again. So
Okay.
like I said, the accidental teacher, it wasn't planned. So some of you might be in places right now that it's not like that's where it should be, but I think you should just trust the process, trust the journey.
Again,
so for me,
I think you've just struck a chord. You're talking about the process. So there's usually a process. So somehow
yes.
you need to trust the process. So if you're out there and you're going through something right now, it's time to trust the process, okay?
yes, because hope for many people, when you think about it, it's not something that will happen now. And then for most of us, it's intangible. It's like, okay, I hope to get something. I hope to, more like a wish. But when you think about it again, so for me, like I said, I'll use my example. Initially, it didn't start out like that. But then I got into it, and then I knew there was something. I would say that I was selfish when I started this. Selfish in the sense that I wanted to help my own children.
Wow.
And that's why I got into the educational space full time. But then I got there and I found out that there was so much more, and I was hooked. I didn't want to. I could have been one of those other teachers. I don't know how to put it now. Not that words fail me, but I'm sure it will come. There was just something that was missing, and I asked myself, was I going to complain like every other person? Because most people, if you ask them, even up until now, don't want to be teachers.
Yeah.
Why would I be a teacher? But do you know that the truth is, teachers, whether you accept it or not, teachers are doing a great job. Now, when it comes to hope, a teacher is that one person who's going to be able to tell that child that you can do it, you can make it. Even if you make a mistake, don't worry. But that is a teacher who is teaching because that teacher wants to change lives. I won't deny that there's so many teachers out there, because I was once like that teacher who was just doing it for, you know what, that's what we're doing now.
That's what
till
pays the bill.
till we move on to the next. But then I got in and I had parents calling me that, oh, my child said, and I'm like, it's French, it's not math, it's not English, it's not
science,
it's not the core subject. You know, but then my child said, you said. So for me, there was always much more than the subject. Now, there's this mantra I have, and I quote it almost every opportunity I have.
Okay.
And I tell my colleagues, please remember to teach the child and not the subject. So, I am taking French. I'm teaching French. But I put in all other things into consideration when I'm taking that child. I have a child in my class who's not feeling too good. Most times, and my students and pupils know already, I will pause. And I would ask questions.
Why do you pause?
Okay.
And you know, I'm going to bring you back to a thought, because you said you started because you wanted to help
my own children. Yes.
But you just said another thing. You will pause.
Yes.
Why pause?
Okay.
Why not just go on? Because, excuse me,
I have to finish exactly
within a certain time.
Exactly.
Why do you have to pause?
Yes. Okay. Remember I said you could start out not being that teacher because you don't have the qualifications.
Yeah.
But then you need to. My paradigm shift came about when I was doing my postgraduate course in education, and I think it was during our module 2 or something. I came across this phrase about teachers no longer being the sage on the stage, but now the guide by the side in the 21st century. So then, when education was it, when schooling was it, they came to give us information, and then we couldn't question it. And that was why when we were in school, when our parents were in school, most times we would cram and give the teacher back what the teacher asked.
Exactly.
Now, I started speaking to students. I'll go to schools, and then they will be asking me questions. Some of them will not want to say it out. They would write it out. And most times they were like, why won't our teachers take our own, answers? But they want answers verbatim. Why must I say exactly? But I see it in another light. I've thought about it like this. And so for me, it was a case of there's so much more. When I found out about the sage on the stage and the guide by the side, I now began to research
Sage on the stage, guide
by the side. So Guy by the side is that facilitator who's helping that child
bring out whatever they have inside of them.
But the sage on the stage is, I have told you this is it, and that is it.
So just tell me.
I know it, and give it back to me.
Jump Paul.
Yes.
And I don't want to hear any other thing.
But now I'm helping you, and that's where, you know, phrases like differentiation, scaffolding, and things like that in the educational space come in. So for me, it was a case of, there's much more. And when I found, okay, so I was talking about how I did a further research.
Yeah.
And I came across something called SEL, S-E-L, Social and Emotional Learning.
Because I was just going to come back to that you're an emotional enthusiast. And so I wanted you to tell us a little bit more about that. So basically what you're telling us is that came from SEL. And
yes.
I mean, I'm hearing words that I've never heard about in the educational sector. So please tell me about SEL and tell the viewers about SEL.
Okay, so there's this thing, like I said, there was something I was practicing, but if I didn't go into the rudiments, I wouldn't have known there was something like that. So apparently what it was I had been doing long ago was actually SEL. I will give another example. So before I got into class, I had people who were coming for interviews in school then, and things like that. And I would call, so maybe there are like 20 teachers. I'm the one who's going to take the name down and everything. And then I'm looking, remember I said I was the front desk officer / assistant admissions officer then?
Yeah.
And I would look at you the way you're dressed. And because I was already in the system, I knew what we were looking for. I wasn't in the interview panel. To some people in some other schools, I was the receptionist, and that's another thing. It's how you carry your fish to the market that they will buy it. I wasn't a receptionist. I knew my job there as the first contact, apart from maybe our security guards at the gate, was whatever it was I sold to them or I told them was what was going to lead them to take the next step.
Yeah.
Now, I digress a bit. I wanted to go back to that. So I would look at that teacher and I'm like, these are not the kind of teachers they want here. And I will call one of them and I'll say, I hope you don't mind. Is your house far? And then, you know, it's like, yeah, what has my house got to do with this? I'm like, so you're number 10. If you know you can't get back before that, I would push your name down. But I need you to get home to change. Express how they feel. For some people, you know, for us, relationship management and responsible decision making.
Wow, that's 5 huge steps.
Yes.
Okay. So if you were not a teacher, what would you do? What would you be? If we're going to pay, same amount, I mean, you're not in the multinational sector, what would you be doing with your life?
I haven't thought about it in a while because even on Sundays I teach children. I haven't in a while. What would I be doing? What would I be doing? Yeah. I wouldn't have been singing. No, the singing is for the classroom. I would still be helping people, but now I don't know exactly how that would have been, you know, in career form. But I find joy in helping people because once I was lost, and when I say lost, I was teaching because I just wanted to teach. But now that I understand there's so much more, I would help you kind of like get better. I'm not a coach in the sense of it. But what I do with my children, because now I've gone on to study guidance and counseling so that I can also help children, I would still be helping people. But as a career, I don't know what box I would have put that in. And then maybe traveling the world speaking French.
Speaking French. Awesome. So as it is, we're still on HopeGrill, and there is always hope available for you today and the future. If you just joined us, this is HopeGrill. We're just wrapping up, and we hope that you keep tuning in every Thursday by 5 p.m. It's HopeGrill with Crystal, and right on the screen is our social media handles, and you can always connect with us. Send us your questions ahead of time. We're going to be having an exclusive session with Temitope where she's going to be saying a little bit more. If you would like to get some of those materials, please let us know, and also would have the materials for for Tobiloba that we interviewed last week, and you can ask your questions and she'll be able to answer your questions directly. It's HopeGrill, and remember that Crystal's books are available, and I noticed that Temitope came into the studio.
Okay.
Book.
So for me, I wouldn't lie. She wasn't expecting it. So
No,
she
I'm
saw the
not.
book in my hand. I was wondering, and I'm like, calm down. Now, I will brag. If you haven't gotten your own, look at the screen now. This was personally autographed for me, and it says here, the teacher who is tutored by the best teacher. Let Christ hope be unfailing for you, Crystal. So yes, I'm the happy teacher, and I also have a teacher who is Jesus Christ. Get your copy. You need to read this book so that you can hope against hope.
Thank you so much, Temitope, for that. I think I've just been having a lot of emotional moments, since the beginning of the day. And I told you last week that the books will be available on Amazon. So yes, the books are now available on Amazon. Books. I'm prophesying.
Yes.
Yeah. The book is available on Amazon. You can get your e-copy. And I'm sure that by next week, we should be on Okada Books. My sister promised me that she's going to ensure that she works on it. And we will be available so you can read the book. It definitely will birth hope for you. Till I see you next week, Thursday, keep grilling hope. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And thank you so much, Temitope, for coming.